Hi everyone, it's Karen. If you don't know my name, it's Karen Croney, and I am a master in face, the art of faces. I am a master beauty consultant. I am a formulist of cosmetics, all organic and all raw and natural. And I also have created my own beauty methods. And these methods are amazing because they're really true to what beauty and the source of natural beauty is about, but still being able to get into beauty. I mean, if you go really natural, there's just nothing to do except cleanse yourself. But this is the purest form of hair care and for brows and for inner and outer beauty and the state of mind in beauty. So I am available to teach that. Also, I'm available to share that in your salon if you want me to do that. I'm also a spiritual channel. And I know that sounds really new agey, and a lot of people are very hesitant to believe that someone can just all of a sudden say they're a channel. So I wanted to give you a little background story on me and where that came from, because it took me a long time to say that I was a channel. I've always, as a child, known that I am a channel. Just because I've seen things before they are, before they're going to happen sometimes. And I had to work with that quite a bit to be able to really hone in and keep it really in the light. So I've done a lot of spiritual work, and not until a year ago, a little over a year ago, did I really, truly decide to go ahead and just channel for people. Sometimes it would happen without me acknowledging it, or I didn't understand what was happening at the time. Sometimes I went all the way away and then came back and the person said I changed their life. So I knew that it was a natural thing, and I was like, oh cool, I had no idea. And once I decided to step into it, I bought some cards and I prayed to Archangel Michael, and I asked him if he could help me to feel safe to do it, because at this point when I was asking, I definitely felt safe as far as negative energies or dark energies, because I've done a lot of work with that, and I'm really strong there. I can really, because we have the power, so we can all just decide not to let anything come in as we channel, and just invite in the highest light. And all channelers know this. You don't do that unless you're really comfortable with that aspect. So I didn't, and I am now, and that's why it's really comfortable. It's actually a beautiful feeling and a wonderful experience. I've never had a bad experience doing it. So I've always known it. Once I stepped into doing it, I prayed to Archangel Michael to help me. I said, the main thing for me is that I just, in speaking to someone in a normal state, you can give a lot of good advice, and there's a lot of concepts with spirituality. It's easy to see people if they're not uneasy, tell them to be a little bit still, things like that. And sometimes in that moment that's not exactly what's supposed to be said. So I started to be very, very silent in my normal life to people, and if they asked me, then I would answer, but very minimal, because I just started to feel like you have to be really careful what you say to people, because you can really influence them. And I just prayed to Archangel Michael, and I said, please help me, because I want to do this. I'm called to do this. I feel to do this, but I don't want to ever say anything wrong that would steer a person's life wrong. And as soon as I got my first deck, and Archangel Michael, I had an experience with him, and I knew that he was with me, and he was with me on the left side of me, and it was really warm, and then I found out that he is warm. So, I had a real true experience with that energy beside me. So he's always beside me. I've asked him to always be there with every channeling session or any kind of meditation that I do. He's always there with me. I always feel him. He's warm. He keeps me warm. And so I asked him, to please guide me and be with me and make me feel safe to do this work without making a mistake, because that was my biggest fear. I didn't want to tell someone something wrong. And the first card that I pulled with this deck that I got was Archangel Michael. So I knew that he was going to be there. So at that point, I trusted that I could let go and just let the guides come in, and that there wasn't going to be a mistake. That he basically shared with me through spirit that there's nothing wrong, and there's nothing that I will say wrong in a spiritual, in a state like that, because it's not my brain talking. It's a point where I just let go and allow the spirits to come through, and they do. It's a natural gift that I have. So they come through, and then they tell you exactly through the cards, and then other stuff comes through me, and it amazes me when because I can feel it within my body, that it's like just right on. And a lot of people say like it's so like fantasy world and things for direction, but I have to tell you, excuse me, I have to tell you that it's all one. The mundane world and the spiritual world is really, there's no difference. We're just kind of getting to the point of knowing spirituality and talking about spirituality openly and not having religions and being more open. And so we're all just kind of separating it. But it's really one thing. That's why you can be in business and you can be a spiritual channel. You can do all these things because they are just all one thing. You are a spirit with a human body. So you're not at any way, shape, or form just a mundane human being. You have both. So when you honor both, you're able to really understand yourself more. And when you understand yourself more and know yourself more, it's a lot easier to conduct business. And that, I think, is the reason why I can say that I've been able to do all the jobs, because I'm doing, for my own business, I'm doing everything. So I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't able to connect it with the spiritual world, because it is one with it. And when I look at things and I realize that whatever happens with, like sometimes I'll ship a product and it doesn't get to a certain person, and I can feel the energy there where there could have been fear if it wasn't going to get there, and I work with that person always, and I'll always resend products if they don't get there, but it always gives me an opportunity to share that with them. So it's really just all one. And I have internally and externally collided both of those over the last 2 years, where my business and my spiritual life is one. That's why it is confusing when I tell people I'm the master in the art of brows, and I've got my own methods, and I'm really this beauty master that worked in Beverly Hills for years with celebrities, and now I've got my own methods, and I'm a spiritual channel. They're like, oh, what? Okay, where did that come in, you know? So it is just one thing, and it's really about becoming one with yourself. And yourself is in the mundane. A lot of people have a hard time to do business, especially spiritual people, because I'm one of them. It's been my journey. Everything that I talk about, I've been through. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to talk about it. And it's like, it's a very difficult thing until you finally get it, until you finally grow to the place where you can understand both are one thing. You feel like it's against your integrity to make money and this whole thing, and it's really not. Although I do understand, because I'm trying to enter the money world, and I've been wealthy before, but that was kind of like, I was with my children's father, and he's an inventor, and I was just flowing along and believing, and I was using my spiritual power, and he was using his driving force to be able to create these beautiful, amazing products, and he's just nonstop working. Like, he's amazing as far as like going and just focusing, and I was amazing on just adding the magic. So together we made it, and then things kind of shifted and things went down, and now I'm rebuilding and he's rebuilding, and we have intentions together building in business as well, and we always will. We have beautiful 4 children, but so now I'm actually trying to come into balance with my masculine and drive forward, as well as use my spiritual, I want to call it powers, because we really do have spiritual powers. We really do. I don't even want to put the word spiritual in front of it. We have powers. And when we realize that we're powerful with God, and we are one with God, and we are God, and that if we align our mind, our ego, our higher self, our hearts, our intentions, our everything that's in our centers, that we can just really line up to things. and it becomes true. It's like magic, really. We are magicians. We are magicians. And so I won't go too much further into spirituality, but I wanted to bring that up because I am colliding both worlds, and it gets confusing for everyone. So I want you to know that I am available always for the beauty, because this is something that I'm in it. I love to do it. I love to share it. I love to do it in a way that's deeper than just make your hair nice. I mean, it's wonderful to make your hair. I did my hair with the braids you might have seen on Facebook, and now it's nice and curly, and it feels really good, you know, and that feels good, and it's good to feel good. So that's really good. But what I didn't do before this video is I didn't meditate, and I'm showing the differences. So I'm going to do 2 videos that I didn't still myself. So you might see that I'm a little bit more active everywhere, and that's me just flying around, and that's my normal way. It is. I admit that. I'd love to be a lot more still, and I suppose I will as I mature even more, but I just have so much perception of everything that I kind of have to go intuitively as I'm doing these videos, because I don't know how to do it in a more structured way. So I'm working on it. Perhaps I'll collide that with my ability to just fly around with intuitive messages as well. Perhaps I'll do videos just on that. So I'm very inspired to do the videos, and I'm very inspired to share with you guys all the things that I have available to you, and I'd love to share. You know, I am 51 now, and I've had a lot of experience because I have went to the depths. I've really done the work. I mean, I have been to the point where I felt like I wanted to die and kill myself. This was years ago. And I've been to the place where I feel like I was flying on this planet, you know. So I've been all over. I'm now at a plateau where I'm growing now, but it's a little bit more, you know, I understand how to take care of my energy and myself daily in a way that's really healthy for me. But I am working on it towards the business. So I'm still not successful at business yet, because it's my challenge. And so I know that I'll probably be able to teach that when I get to it too. It's like, I think everything I've went the long way around so that I can really, I have a Virgo moon, so I'm very detailed about every process that I go through. I wind up coming up with these methods, you know, and these teachings. So it should be really interesting as it goes on, and it has been incredibly interesting as it's been. So I know this video is getting long. I will stop rambling on. I love you guys, and I really want to share more. And I'm so happy that we can all just do this together. And if you guys want to share videos on this page, let's really have a fun time with this page. I really appreciate your support and your wanting to be a part of this, and I want to give as much as I can possibly give. Namaste.